All right.
Hi,
We're recording
everyone.
now.
Well, welcome back. This week we have a special guest, as you can see, with us, Kris Chana from Chelsea Place Senior Care. And if you don't know Kris, you should. We'll definitely be linking all of his social media and YouTube clips. He does so much for the senior community here on the Suncoast. Chelsea Senior Care has a home health company, an assisted living company, and also an adult daycare. So he's hitting all the marks, so to speak.
He's our guest blogger.
Right.
And he's our guest blogger this week. So we're talking about 9 possible signs of dementia, things that might be a little bit outside of the box of things that as a caregiver you might be overlooking. And Kris is also going to be giving us some ideas as caregivers how to support our loved ones when dealing with it. So starting things off.
I guess the first one that was mentioned was like noticing low food supply, expired food, etc.
Yeah, I think a lot of times too, when families, are maybe caring for their mom and dad, they may not be actually going through the fridge or like the pantry and like seeing, is mom and dad, are they well stocked? Are they actually producing or creating like healthy meals for themselves?
Right.
Or they're potentially actually eating harmful meals that maybe are expired or spoiled or are not prepared well. And so I think it's just important to kind of like take a look and make sure that those things are being taken care of, and that in the pantry, in the fridge, those meals are there, or that they're able to eat healthy. And if they can't, like say they can't actually make meals for themselves anymore,
Right.
have we reached out to local services like Meals on Wheels, or even like Medicare Advantage has some plans where they actually include meals being shipped to your home, and you can actually have that set up by a case manager. So just being conscientious of that, and looking into that a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And then the next one being unopened mail, also something probably similar.
Sure.
If you're not at the house every day, right?
Exactly. I think the hardest part too is like as a family member, you may not be as involved in your loved ones like bills or what's going on in their life. For the most part, they've maybe managed all that stuff, and so all of a sudden you might start noticing like maybe the water gets shut off because the bill was never paid or something, and then there's a stack of mail in the house piling up, and it's sometimes like when we go into people's homes, they might have piles and piles of just unopened mail. And they might be sorting through it, but may not be doing anything with it. So just being conscientious of, as mom or dad or my loved one lost that ability to manage those things anymore,
Perfect. Yeah, and you touched on the unpaid bills. On top of that, even like when it comes to medication and mixing up their medication as well.
Exactly. I think that's the other thing too. Like sometimes, we see when we go in, especially in home care, it can be really difficult to see someone go through like this process where they're trying to manage their medications, but it's almost like dangerous because they're over
Absolutely.
here trying to put them in the med box, but they don't even know maybe they have like 2 or 3 pills of the same medication on Monday when it should have been like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and they're putting them in the wrong times, or they're mixing them up, or
Yeah.
now all of a sudden you might have someone that's like overdosing on a medication, or potentially because they're not taking it at the right time, it's causing extra confusion and things like that. So
Yeah, I mean, I feel like with the amount of medications given, it'd be confusing for anybody to be able to manage that, let alone any sort of cognitive decline of really, it being difficult to follow those directions.
Exactly.
And that kind of goes along with your number 5 tip too, of just the unfilled prescriptions of, everything from mixing up medications to just managing them in general. And you probably see that that's a big reason why people are moving into assisted living too, to help manage them.
100%. Yeah. And, I mean, just like the medication mix-ups, you go now to unfilled prescriptions where maybe, they're getting the phone call from Walgreens, but, they're forgetting to like go handle that. Or maybe they get the phone call, thought they did it, but they never ended up going there to get those medications. So, is there a way to like set up a routine where, we get those medications on, just auto shipped from a location, or they come already prepackaged in a pill box or something like that,
Right.
Yeah. 100%.
Yep. And then going on to the next one, you mentioned bad odors, piles of dirty laundry building up, etc.
Yeah, and I think that it's just kind of like being conscious of like those clues that maybe is mom and dad, is there an underlying issue? Because maybe when I talk to them on the phone, or if I just stop by and say hi, like on the surface it may not seem like there's anything wrong, but then you kind of dig a little deeper and you start to realize like there's actually maybe some underlying problems that need to be addressed. And you know, just the laundry thing might just be a sign that there is more. And so just to look, you know, just to see if there is more going on.
Excellent point. Yeah.
Definitely. And that kind of goes along too of digging a little deeper is even the idea of fingerprints on the walls, which I would have never thought of, which is as a great tip, but that's an example too, if you're not looking for some of these things.
Right. Exactly. And the thing is too, is like, so you might realize, or mom may be independent, or dad, or your loved one. And if you're not seeing them every day, like, you know, maybe they're actually having difficulty walking. And so maybe they're using the wall or doorways as like devices to make sure that they don't fall, you know, first.
Right.
And so that might be like, okay, maybe it's time to address like a walker or a cane or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
No, great point. And moving on, another excellent point is, you know, maintenance of your lawn, you know, grass getting taller, you know, just noticing the yard's not been maintained.
Right.
Yeah, so, you know, sometimes, like, you know, I know, like, my grandpa, he's always stubborn about that, you know, like, that was, like, his role, like, he had to do it, you know? So I guess, you know, just kind of depending on that generation, like, you know, is it, whether maybe it's the lawn, or maybe it's the flower beds or something like that, maybe if your loved one was, you know, that was important to them at one point, and all of a sudden you're starting to see changes there, you know, they're not being as conscientious about that, like, you know, again, it might just be a sign, and just, you know, to like, let me explore a little bit deeper, is there something more going on, you know?
Yeah. And the last one, number 9, just the unexplained dents and just scratches in the car.
Right.
That's a big one.
What happened, Mom? The quarter panel on the back of the Lincoln Town Car, the Buick LeSabre, you know? Just trying to, you know, like, honestly, it's amazing, like, you know, how our depth perception might change as we age, and just, you know, our ability to, like, navigate, you know, parking, in and out of different spaces, or backing up, and things like that. And, you know, so I think it's just being conscious, like, you know, looking for those things, because at some point in time, you know, that is a difficult conversation to have, is taking away someone's license. So, you know, being conscientious of, like, is it still safe for my mom or my dad or my spouse to be driving? And, you know, hopefully there's not a massive dent or a car wreck that has to be the reason. But maybe if you just start seeing those, like, scratches, and you're like, they almost look like, you know, they ran into like a concrete wall, or like brushed up against it or something like that. And it might just be those indications of, again, you know, maybe it's time to sit down with mom and talk to her about her driving, and utilize alternatives like, you know, some transportation services and stuff. So.
Like you said, that's never a pleasant conversation. That one's difficult. We deal with that with
exactly.
a lot of our clients. Yeah.
That's why it's number 9 on the list, you know?
Yeah.
Right. When all else fails. Well, I feel like almost all of these, though, it just really is being able to open up that can, and being able to have a reason and a purpose to start that conversation. But the conversations are so important. And so if you're watching this and you have any questions on even how to approach those conversations, talking points, ideas, that's what we specialize here at Sunways. I'm sure, Kris, you have helped so many clients where all of your businesses under Chelsea Senior Care to be able to have that. So please reach out to one of us. We're here to help. We appreciate you, Kris, and everything that you do for the local senior community. Thanks for writing our guest blog this week. And we hope you're having a great week, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, Kris. Be safe, man.
Hey, thank you all for everything you do. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Talk soon.
Bye.
All right. See ya.